Okay, so we're going to start off just marching on the spot. Can you see my feet? Yes, lovely. I definitely need to sort out some music for the next one. But anyway, we're just going to walk on the spot. Lovely. Just making sure our feet are nice and light, keeping our kind of shoulders back, looking forward. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to increase this a little bit now, and what we're going to do is some heel taps. So I'm going to turn, you don't have to, and I'm just going to tap my heel down on the floor in front, bringing my toes up to the ceiling. That's it. Lovely. Good. So you can take this as slow or as fast as you need, just keeping yourself moving. Well done. Good. Okay, let's come back around so you can see me. Good. Okay, so this time we're going to do some side taps. So what we're going to do is just tap our foot down to the side. That's it, just a light tap with the top of your toe. Good, well done. That's it, again, as fast or slow as you need. See how it's feeling in your tummy and in your lower back. Well done, keep it going. Good. Lovely. Okay, so I'm just going to turn so you can see me, but what I want us to do now is just to tap our toe lightly back. So slow this bit down, test your balance. Make sure you're looking nice and forward. It will help you kind of stay where you are. Lovely, well done. So just tapping that toe lightly back. Well done, just a few more of these. Perfect. I'm just going to turn again. Great. Okay, so we're going to bring it back to a walk on the spot again, nice and central. Perfect, so you can bring in your arms a little bit now. It's a little bit of a march like we're in the army a bit. Perfect, well done. Okay, so while we're here, we're now going to rotate our shoulders. So just bringing our shoulders up to your chin, down again. That's it, walking again, slow this down as much as you need. Shoulders up, shoulders down. This bit should feel nice. Lovely, well done. Good. And then you can go the other direction, so bringing it forward. This will feel a bit odd to start with. Good, well done. Perfect. Okay, just a few more. Lovely, okay, stop that. Arms a little shake, give it back to marching. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do is some single arm circles. We're just going to lift one arm up, bring it round behind. So these can be as big or as small as you need. Just one arm up and back. Good. Lovely. You might find you've got more mobility on one side than the other. That's absolutely fine. We'll just keep it moving, keeping that march going, keeping our heart rate a little bit elevated. Lovely. Okay, let's go the other arm. Perfect. Which arm's better? Good, well done. Very nice. A few more here. Keep this nice, keep it slow and steady, whatever feels good for you. Okay, great. So now what we're going to do is the other direction. We're going to go one arm at a time. So our right arm is going to come backwards over to the front, and then the left arm backwards over to the front. So we're going the opposite direction and we're alternating our arms. I'm testing your coordination now. Lovely, well done. Good. That's it, lovely. Keep it going. Okay, so you can stick with this, or if you're feeling pretty strong in the arms, what we're going to do is some double arms. So both arms are going to go back and forward. If that's too much, stick with single. If not, just nice circles. Well done. So I'm going all front to back at the moment, but you can change and go backwards and forwards if you like. I'm going to do them all and then switch at the end, okay? Well done. Lovely. Might get some crunching in your shoulders, everything kind of opening back up again, especially if you've been sitting down at a desk all day. Lovely. Okay, so if you've been going in one direction, let's switch it around. So coming back, out and down. Lovely, well done. Good. Okay. All right, so shake off those arms, back to just marching. Good, well done. Okay, so we're still going to keep our legs going. Again, you can slow this down, you can speed this up, see where you are. What we're going to do is just bring one arm up and lean it across to the side. So I've tilted myself a little bit as I do that, okay? So I'm just reaching over to the other side, just keeping it moving. Just a little twist in your lower back and your abs, but only a little bit, okay? A little turn. Lovely. Good. So if this is too much when you're walking, you can stay still when you're doing this, okay? Lovely, just bringing it over. Nice stretch. Good, couple more. Good. Okay, next one we've got, we might want to stop for this one, keep our legs still, because we're just going to lean down towards our knee, wherever is comfortable. You don't have to go too far here, keep it nice and slow, just leaning over one side to the other. That's great, well done. So we're looking forward the whole time when we're doing this, nice and controlled. Great, looks really good, well done guys. Perfect. Okay. Lovely. So we're going to change this slightly. We're keeping with that movement, but what we're going to do is lift an arm up and we're just going to lean over side. So this has increased the intensity a little bit. So if it's too much, you could stay with your arms down. And again, the aim of this game is not how far you can go. It's just to test this mobility a little bit. Okay, it's a little bit of a stretch. You're going to feel it right down the side. That's it, perfect. And if this is too much, you can come down to just doing it along the side of your body, okay? You don't need to go overhead if that is too much for you. Great, well done. Perfect. Okay, just a couple more. Brilliant, that looks really, really good, guys. Well done. Okay, so we're going back into our march. Perfect. Well done. Really, really good. I can see your knees are looking brilliant, guys. Well done. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is start opening out our chest muscles, okay? So we're going to start with one arm, and you're just going to bring it around to the side, back to center, and then down. Then your other arm's going to come up, round to the side, back to the center, and down. So we're coming up, opening out, closing, back down, and repeat on the other side. Up, open out, close, bring it back down. Great, well done. Try and keep those legs moving through this bit, but if it gets too much, that's all fine. We can stop, we can pause, and we can do a few steps in between our movements. Great, well done. Other arm. Bringing it round, closing it, bringing it down. Perfect. So you can stay with these if this is enough. If you think you can go a bit more, we're going to try 2 arms at the same time. Okay, so we'll bring it center, open it up. Bringing it center, opening up. Again, if it's too much, you can just bring this down to singles. There's no problem with that. Well done. Very nice. Keeping that march going. Really, really good. Just a few more here. Lovely. So we're kind of imagining we've got a bit of string between our hands and we're pulling it open and then closing it. Great. Okay. Bring those arms down. Give them a little shake. Okay. So the next thing we've got, we're going to imagine kind of Tai Chi thing, and we're going to push our arms away and then we're going to pull them back. Okay. So nice and slowly, keeping that march. Just push, feel those, your shoulder blades open up. Bring them back. Lovely. Push, bring back. Good, well done. Really, really nice. Brilliant, guys. Okay. Brilliant. Nice. Opening and closing, bringing your elbows back. Brilliant. Good work. Okay. So, next thing we're going to do is we're going to start this with single arms, but we're going to advance it to double if we can do it. We're just going to push our arm up to the ceiling, pull it back down. Up to the ceiling, pull it back down. Lovely. Good. Great. So really feeling that stretch as you pull up and then bringing down. So stretch, pull down. Perfect. Well done. Okay, so if you want a bit more from this, we'll do 2 arms at the same time. If not, you can stay there. So double arm, we'll push up, really feeling that length down our spine, pull it back down and up and down. Fantastic. So again, you can go to singles at any time with any of these moves, okay, and you can take the legs out if you need. Great. Push up, pull down. Just a couple more. Okay. Lovely. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to plant our feet on the floor, feet hip width apart, nice kind of wiggling your toes. And you're going to do that up and down movement again, but we're going to bring in our knees. So we're going to bend our knees, then we're going to come up, come down, come up. So down and up. So we're not going too low, just a little bend in the knees, keeping our belly button pulled in, nice and strong, up and down. Good. Well done. Perfect. And pull. And push. That's it. Perfect. Well done. Oh, see how tight we are in the knees and the hips through this one. This doesn't need to be low. Just a little bit of a bend and a push. Perfect. Few more. Might make your heart rate come up a little bit this bit. Last 2. Okay, great. So keeping our feet still. I'm going to turn so you can see me. We're just going to hug that imaginary tree. Really kind of pull our shoulder blades forward. Imagine you're hugging a nice big tree. Lovely. And then from there, a little lean to one side, just twisting. Little twist the other way. So not too far on this one. Just a little one. Feel it twist through your torso. Great. Perfect. Well done. That's it, that looks really, really good, guys. Well done. A few more. Okay. Lovely. Okay, so relax those arms, give them a little shake again, loosen them up. Great, okay. So we're going to go back to marching, just that little walk on the spot. Give you a little quick break in a minute, so if you want a drink, you'll soon be able to get one. And then what we're going to do now is alternate arm raises, okay? So you're going to start off, just going to lift the arm up, bring the arm back down, and then you switch to the other side. So you don't have to go all the way high, you can just come level with your shoulders if you prefer, but just lift straight up, straight down, so a front raise. Perfect. Up and down. Good. Really nice, okay? So if you want to increase this a little bit, what we're going to do is instead of going alternate, we're going to go one arm up, one arm back. So this is too much, you can just stay forwards. If you want that little bit extra, we're going up and back. That's it, great coordination, well done. Brilliant. Okay, just a couple more here. Feeling that stretch. Perfect. Okay, last one. Lovely. Okay, so just a few shoulder rolls while we're here. Perfect. Great. Okay, so if you want a quick drink, now is your time. You've got a few minutes, well, a minute or so just to get a quick drink. So if you want one, have one now. We've got a little bit more movement to go, and then we'll be carrying on, okay? Right, ready? Had your drinks? Perfect. Okay, so back to it. So this time, we're going to raise our heart rate a little bit, just a little bit of a pulse raiser, okay? So this isn't going to be too mad, so we're going to be very, very gentle. Just to raise your heart rate a little bit before we get down to the floor and do more Pilates style stuff, okay? So for now, we're going to start off just by marching again. We got a little bit more speed this time, okay? So this is still gentle, it's nothing crazy, but now we're feeling warm, we've done some mobility, our joints are ready and raring to go, okay? Perfect. Okay, so the first thing we're going to move into is some side steps. So you might want to move yourself to the left a little bit, and what we're going to do is 2 steps to the right. So we're going to go 1 step, 2 step, and then we're going to go back 2 steps. So take these as fast or slow as you need, just a couple steps, one direction, then the other. If you're very limited to space, you can just do 1 step, that's absolutely fine. Okay, nice light feet, one side to the other. Good. Perfect. Okay, so while we're doing this, let's add in the arms. So what I want you to do is your bicep curling your arms, okay? So just bringing them, elbows are bent, bringing them up to your shoulders and back down, doing your 2 steps in either direction. Fantastic. Good. So if at any point anything gets too much, you can drop the arms, you can do this on the spot, whatever works for you, okay? Great, nice light feet as we move across the room. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to stick with our side steps and we're going to change our arms, okay? So what we're going to do is go back to those front raises. So we're just going to lift our whole arms up. So do 1 step, lift, 1 step, lift, 1 step, lift, 1 step, lift. Great. Well done. That's quite a bit of a coordination game there. Perfect. 1 step, lift, 1 step, lift. That's the spirit. Keep it up. Just a few more. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to break this down again, keeping with our legs. And this time, we're going to lift our arms upwards, okay? So just 1 step up, 1 step up. So just up above the shoulders, pushing away, 1 step up, 1 step up. That's it. Perfect. Well done. This is brilliant. Keep it going. Nice light steps. Heart rate should be coming up a little bit now. Perfect. Fantastic. Okay, back to your center position. Let's go back to a march. Well done, that was really, really good, guys. That looked really brilliant. Okay, so we've got our arms are involved. We're properly doing a march now. Perfect. Okay, so what I want us to do is we're just going to increase our height of our knees a little bit so we can slow it down. We don't have to come all the way high, but we're going higher than we were, okay? Perfect. Great. So just staying with this for a little bit. Great. So if it needs too much to do this, you can just stay with your normal march, okay? But if you can, let's lift those knees a little higher. Great. Okay. So what we're going to do is bring this a little bit forwards and backwards. So if you don't have space for this, you stay where you are. But if you do, we're going to march forward 2 steps. Then we're going to march backwards 2 steps. Great, well done. So again, if you don't have the space for this, that's okay. Just stay where you are on the spot. Perfect. Good. Stay with it. It's looking really good. Couple more. Perfect. Last one. Brilliant. Okay, so we're back to on the spot. We're sticking with our high knees, just bringing them up. Great. You might be feeling a little tight in your hip flexors right at the top here. That's okay. We'll just lessen that height if you need to and just keep it moving. Good. Okay. Okay. Let's bring that down now, back to a normal walk on the spot. Ease those legs out again. Well done. Okay. So we're going back to our side taps from before. So that's just tapping our toe to the side, staying looking forward and feeling our toe lightly touching the floor. Brilliant. Great. Well done. Okay, so if you want to increase this now, we're going to involve our arms. So we're going to go the same arm, we're going to lift our arm up and down. It's like a half jack. That's it, great. So you can come as high or as low with your arm as you need. Gently tapping that foot. Perfect, well done. Stay with this. Okay, we got a little bit more, then we're going down to the floor. Okay, you're almost there. Okay, so if you want to increase this now, you can stay where you are if you want to, or we could add in both arms. So toe tap, both arms. Perfect, you look like a nice star, I like it. Nice light feet. And remember, at any time if this is too much, you can go back to a march. There's nothing wrong with that. It's what's working for you today. Good. Nice light toes tapping the floor. Perfect. Just a few more. Great. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so back to a march. Just nice low legs. Rolling those shoulders. Let's ease them out a bit after that. Well done if you managed to double arms, and well done if that wasn't for you today, you still did it. Perfect. Little shake if you need them. Always feels good. So again, I'm going to turn so you can see what we're going to do this time. So we did the toe taps before, lightly back. We're going to go a bit longer. See how long we can get that leg back. I find it helps me to lift my alternate arm. It's just a coordination thing, it helps me a bit. You don't have to do that, whatever works for you. Just really trying to push that heel back a little bit. It doesn't need to touch the floor, but do just kind of push it back a bit. Feel that stretch. Perfect, great. Nice deep breaths. Keep it going. Okay, last few here. This is looking really, really good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Back to a march. Let's finish this off with some shoulder rolls. So just bringing the shoulders up and down, up and down. Perfect. Last 2. Up, down. 1 more. Up and down. That's it. Fantastic. So grab yourself a drink if you'd like one. And then what we're going to do is slowly move ourselves down into the kind of Pilates stuff, okay? So we're going to gradually get our way to the floor, and then we're going to work on our abdominals and our lower back and see how we're going with that, okay? So make sure you have room on the floor wherever you are. You won't need any equipment for this, but if you want to have a cushion or something nearby, by all means do, okay? Lovely, so you've all had your drink, which is brilliant. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do some little openers to start off with, okay? So you're going to just stand with your feet hip width apart. We're going to do a light bend in our knees. We're just going to open our arms up to the sky. Should feel nice. Perfect. Then bring it back down, bend the knees. And again, repeat just a few of these. They feel good. Great. Really nice. Letting your breath come back down if your heart rate's come up a bit during that warm-up and a bit of the movement side of the class. Heart rate's going to stay low for the rest of this, okay? Lovely. Just a few more. Perfect. Show you it from the side. Perfect. So we're not going low for this, it feels nice. Lovely. Okay, last one. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do now is something called a roll down. So we're not going to go all the way to the floor this time. We're just going to move it around. So you're going to tuck your chin onto your chest, hands in front of your legs, and just slowly kind of bend and lean down. Don't have to go all the way down, wherever's comfortable. Let your arms hang and then slowly back up, okay? This should feel quite nice. Could be a little bit tight, okay? So just take it nice and slow. Only go as far as is comfortable for you today, okay? Perfect, well done. 2 more. Nice and slow. Back up. Okay, last one. So this last one, when you get down, you're going to stay where you are. And what we're going to do is just walk ourselves down and then drop our knees to the floor. So we're on all fours, okay? So take your time with this. There is no rush. I'm just going to readjust my camera so you can see me when I'm on the floor. I think that looks good there. Perfect. So we're on all fours. And what we're going to do now is position ourselves so we're on our back. Doesn't matter how we do this, you might want to kind of tilt to the side and sit round however is comfortable for you, okay? And then what you're going to do is just lie your back down on the floor. You're going to keep your knees bent and stay nice and relaxed. Okay, so we're just going to have a few breaths here. This should feel quite good, okay? So if you want a little pillow under your head, you can do that. You don't need one, but if it feels comfortable, by all means. You might well feel that your lower back is a little bit elevated off the floor when you're in this position. What I want you to do throughout this class is imagine you're pulling your belly button right into your spine and kind of lowering that back of your back as much as possible so that it's in contact with the floor, okay? So it's going to keep your arms just by your side for this. Wherever is comfortable, just take a few breaths looking up to the ceiling. Perfect, well done. Okay, so we're going to start doing some few exercises while we're here. These are all very, very gentle. They shouldn't cause you any discomfort. You might feel that your core abdominals and your muscles in your tummy are working a bit, but it should be very, very gentle, okay? So kind of just keep focusing on the breathing, and if at any time you need to stop, you can come back to this position and just breathe, and that's absolutely fine, okay? So what we're going to do with, you might need to sit up to see me, you might need to lean to the side and work out how best so you can see me whilst I'm talking you through this. Is what you're going to do is straighten one of your legs, keeping it on the floor, just running your foot down along the floor and then bringing it back up. So notice when you're doing this how your hips kind of change and how everything's kind of shuffling to one side, and try and see about keeping that lower back in contact with the floor and keeping that movement through your hips to a minimum, just extending one leg and then the other. That's great, well done. Perfect. So staying in contact with the floor the whole time at the moment, just feeling that elongation through the long leg and a little bit through the tummy muscles. But this shouldn't be too bad. Great, well done. Lovely. Okay, a few more here. Looking really strong, well done. Okay. Lovely, last one. Brilliant. Okay, so you're back in your position with your knees bent. What we're going to do now is sort of some very gentle hip openers, okay? So you're going to keep your legs where they are. Your hands are going to be just relaxed by your side. And what I want you to do is to gradually open one leg towards the side. Not a massive difference, just a little bit out and then back in again, and then the other side, okay? So feel when you get to that point that kind of your legs kind of wanting to fall off. We don't want to go that far. We want to just go a little bit out, a little bit in, just testing that hip mobility. You can, if you want, put your hands on top of your hip bones if that feels more comfortable to you, so you can just feel that movement, but just nice and gentle out to the side and back in. And remember, the whole time we're remembering to breathe, and we're keeping our lower back in contact with the floor as much as possible, holding our belly button in. Perfect. Great. So this range doesn't need to be big, just whatever feels comfortable today. This class is all about just keeping you moving and keeping you comfortable, okay? Great, well done. Perfect. Just a few more here. Is it really good? Well done, guys. So we're looking up at the ceiling through this, maintaining kind of that nice neutral neck posture, just looking forward. It should feel good. Great, last two. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do now is combine those two moves, okay? So we're going to start off, we're going to stretch out the leg nice and long. We're going to bring it back in, and then we're going to open the hip and close, and then same the other side. So a nice long line, bring it back in, open the hip and close. Perfect. We're just putting those two moves together. That's great. That looks really good, guys. Keep this up. Long, long legs, bringing it back in, keeping our belly button in the whole time, lowering our lower back onto the floor. Perfect. Out and across. That's it. Brilliant. Good work. Keep it up. Okay. Just a few more here. Nice and gentle, perfect. Okay, last one. Brilliant. Okay, so we're back in center. We've got a new move now, okay, and we're going to work on, it's a single leg tabletop variation, okay. So really, really important through this one that we keep that belly button in and our back pushed down as much as possible. And we're going to keep our neck nice and neutral, okay. So we're going to imagine we've got a nice juicy apple in between our chin and our chest, keeping us looking forward, keeping that nice and strong, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift up one leg, just keeping that kind of imaginary table, okay. So you've got a 90-degree angle on your foot, and then you're just going to bring it back down and repeat with the other leg, okay. So this is slowly getting us into that tabletop position, just slowly up and down. Feel the change in our tummy muscles as we lift up one leg and we're having to kind of stabilize and balance ourselves. Great, well done. Stick with this. Brilliant. That's really, really good. Well done. Okay. Perfect. Just slowly, slowly. One leg, nice 90-degree angle, keeping our tummy tight. Looking up, nice juicy apple between our chin and our chest. We don't want to crush it. Perfect. Couple more. Okay. So we're going to add in a combination. We're going to stick with those single legs. But when we've got that one leg in the air, I want us to open our hips slightly and bring it back in. So it's that same movement we were doing when we were on the floor, but now we're in the air. Okay, so this is a little bit harder. If it's too much, just stick with your single legs. You don't need to do this hip opener, but see how it's feeling today. Okay, we don't need to go far, just a little bit out, little bit in, just changing that movement at our hip. Perfect. We all get quite a habit of kind of doing things that keep us walking and moving all in a straight line, and we don't tend to do much lateral movement out to the side unless we enjoy breaststroke swimming, for example. So this is a good way of just opening that up. Perfect. Well done. Just a couple more. That's really, really good. Okay, one more each side and then we are done with this. Perfect. Okay, great. So bring both those legs down. Reposition your hips if you kind of need to. Have a little wiggle. Make sure you're still feeling comfy. We've got one more combination to do. And then we've got another move before we switch sides, okay? So what we're going to do now is try and combine the leg extension, the tabletop, and the hip opener, okay? So we're going to lift that one leg up into our tabletop. Then what I want us to do is you can keep this high or low as you're going to extend the leg, get it nice and straight as you can. Bring it back to bend, open the hip, close the hip, bring it down. That's it, perfect. So bring the other leg up, straighten-ish the leg, bring it back to a bend, open and close. Perfect, other side. So if you can't straighten your leg, that's absolutely fine. Don't worry, just straighten it a little bit, whatever's straighter than it currently is. Back down. So lifting it up, straightening, closing, opening the hip, close the hip and down. Perfect, well done. Remember, we're keeping that belly button pulled in. We're doing some breathing while we're here. We're testing how our abdominals and our back are feeling, what's moving, what's not moving. If ever it's too much, you can go back to the last move we were doing, or you can just stop, put your legs down and relax, okay? Well done. Keep good this, just a few more. Perfect. This is looking really, really good. Well done. Okay, so we'll do one more each side. Take your time. Don't feel you need to rush these. Great. One more. Perfect. Okay. So again, legs back down. Have a little wiggle on the spot if you need to reposition, whatever feels comfortable for you. So what we're going to do now is some hip circles, okay? So there are different levels to this, and we're going to keep it low for today, okay? Maybe we'll increase this as we go through the sessions, but for now, let's keep this low. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with our right leg. You're just going to lift your right leg up, so you can keep a little bend in your knee here. And what you're going to do is move your foot in little circles, like you're the sides of a ping pong ball. So little tiny circles. Perfect. Just rotating that hip. So if that feels okay now, you might feel very, very tight this. Take breaks when you need to, if you do. We're going to increase it to a tennis ball. Okay, so a little bit bigger. So still doing these circles, nice and steady, nice and controlled, keeping our breathing, keeping our belly button pulled in, little circles. Good, well done. I saw you all change speed there as the concentration kicked in. Very good, well done. Okay, so while we're here now, we're going to go in the opposite direction. So staying with these circles, going the other way. You might find you get a sticking point in one direction. That's fine. Just see how you go. Maybe make the circle smaller if you need to. You also might find your quads start burning here a bit, but we're not going to stay here too long, okay? Well done. Stick with it. Good. Just a few more. Lovely. Okay, so bring that knee into your chest. Give it a little rub. Just rock it backwards and forwards. It feels good. It deserves it. That's it. Well done. Okay, drop that leg back down on the floor in that bent knee angle. We're going to do the same on the left leg. So lifting that leg up. We're going to start off with a tiny little ping pong balls. Good, little circles. Great, well done. Okay, let's go up to tennis balls if that's comfortable today. Little circles, no rushing on this. Perfect. Okay, so let's go in the other direction. Might feel a bit harder. You're always going to have a dominant direction. I always start that way as well, so it gets harder as I go along. Well done, good work. Perfect. Okay, so just bring that leg back in, give it a little hug, a little rub. Well done. I'm just going to check the time. Yep, perfect. We're doing good. Okay, so bring both legs back down. Nice bent legs. Just kind of again wiggle if you need to. Get yourself nice and comfortable. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do one more go of those kind of extensions but with toe taps, and then we're going to extend it into a straight leg extension before we then move on to a different move. Okay, so just to finish us off here, we're going to try with a double tabletop. Okay, so both legs are coming up and we're going to keep this moving. Okay, so we're going to tap one knee down, lightly touch the floor, and the other side. So don't whiz through this. Think strong, think cool and calm. If this is too much, you can keep your foot down and lift the other one up. Okay, so this doesn't need to be too hard. See what's working for you today. We don't want to hurt you. We want to test your limits a bit. Perfect. So nice and gentle, little tap down, bringing up. Keeping that belly button engaged. That looks really good. Just a few of these. Lovely. Don't forget to breathe. Okay, so bring both legs down. Again, shuffle your back a bit. This time what we're going to do is kind of our main point is this. And we're going to lift and straighten one leg, bring it back down. Lift, straighten, bring it back down. Perfect. So this doesn't have to be too crazy. The legs don't have to be too straight. Whatever's feeling right today, just lifting it up to the sky. Perfect. Great, well done. Just a few more. Okay. Last one on each side. Perfect. Okay, right. So you might want to watch this first if you've not seen it before. So again, make sure you can see me. But what we're going to do is a shoulder bridge, okay? So you're going to keep your feet in contact with the floor. You're going to keep the back of your upper back and your shoulders in contact with the floor, arms down. And we're just going to peel ourselves off the floor, okay? So you're going to imagine that your spine and your back is stuck to the floor with like Velcro, okay? And we're going to really gradually just lift ourselves up, vertebrae by vertebrae, and then lift ourselves back down. So the height is not the aim of the game here, okay? We don't mind how high we're going. We just want to see if this feels nice and if it helps us to mobilize our back, okay? So your glutes, your bum is going to become engaged when you're doing this. That's absolutely fine. Keep it nice and tight as you come up and slowly back down. Lovely. So you're kind of imagining that you're imprinting your back on the mat. So you're really rolling through nice and gently, okay? We don't want to just kind of force ourselves up and down. We want that slow movement and rotation through our backs. Great, this looks really, really good. Well done. Okay. Couple more here. Perfect. Okay, so stop what you're doing and look at me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring ourselves up, and then we're going to lift one heel, lift the other heel, and then lower ourselves back down, okay? So you might want to hold the floor for support if you need it, but we're coming up, lift one heel, lift the other heel, gradually lower. Great, so if this is too much, you can just stay with your shoulder bridge. You don't need to lift up your heels, whatever working for you today, and still imagining that we're Velcro to the floor and we're really slowly peeling ourselves off and sticking ourselves back down. Great, well done. That's really good, brilliant. Couple more. I always like this one, it feels nice. Last one. Okay, bring yourselves back down and again have a look. So what we're going to do now is bring back in those original hip openers, okay? So we're going to slowly bring ourselves up. We're going to open one leg, open the other leg, and slowly bring it back down. So when you're doing these, really, really important that you kind of squeeze your bum and keeping your butt up to help you up with this, okay? If it's too much, go back to shoulder bridge. So just bringing yourself up, opening one leg out just a little bit, then the other, and then bringing it back down. Great, well done. So just nice and gentle, one leg, back to center, then the other, and back down. So if it is too much, you just go back and do your shoulder bridge, okay? Well done. We're just going to do 3 or 4 of these, not too many. Lovely. And again, you don't want to be opening too far. We're just going a little bit to just test that mobility before our leg kind of starts falling out the side. Perfect. We'll do one more after this one you're on now. Just slowly lifting one leg, then the other, back down. Perfect. Well done. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to roll ourselves over onto our side, okay? So I'm going to go onto my left side first. Take your time with doing this. There's no rush. You're going to keep your arm down. I like to have mine kind of up by my head, but it can be on your side and front, wherever is comfortable. We've got our hips on top of one another, our knees on top of one another, and our feet, everything's kind of bent. Perfect. Okay, well done. So from here, you can use your kind of supporting arm in front to hold the floor if you need to. I'm going to carry on with those hip openers, okay? So this top leg, we're just going to keep our feet together. We're just going to open our leg a little bit and close it. A little bit like a sea clam. That's it. Great, just a few of these. So this might be really, really tight for you. This might be too much. We'll see how we go. Okay, we'll do a couple. If we need to, you can unattach your ankle and just kind of lift your whole leg, okay? So see how it's feeling for you today, what's working, what's not working. We're just going to do a few, really testing that range here. That's it, well done. Perfect. Okay, just 2 more. Perfect, okay, lovely. So what we're going to do now is I want you to bring this leg over in front, and I want you to straighten your back leg, okay? So you've got your back leg on the floor, it's straight. Your front leg is bent over in front. Perfect. So this is a little bit tricky, but we're going to see how we go. So again, you've got your front arm is supporting you in front if you need. What you're going to do is with your lower leg, so the one that's straight, you're going to lift it up just a couple inches and back down. So a little kind of raise on that bottom leg. Okay, so you're going to feel this, and it's quite an interesting one, okay? So we've still got our hips nice and stacked. We're keeping our tummy nice and tight. And we're just slowly, slowly lifting that bottom leg up and down and down. Great, well done. That's it, just a few more here. Perfect. Lovely. Okay, last couple. Great, well done. Okay, so what I want us to do is we're going to roll over onto our right side. Okay, so you guys can just roll over. I'm going to turn around so you can still see me. And again, we've got our hips stacked on top of one another. Our knees are on top of one another. We've got our legs bent, feet together. Our supporting arm in front is in front of us. And we're going to go back to those clams. Okay, so get yourself nice and comfy. Ankles are going to stay together if we can, and just open and close. You might have one side that's more obliging than the other. That's quite normal, don't worry about it. One side, then the other. Good, well done. So again, if this is too difficult, you can lift your whole leg. You don't have to keep your ankles in contact. Whatever works for you today. Good, so this might burn the top of your leg. You really feel it kind of on the side of your thigh. Good, well done. Perfect, just a couple more. That's it, great, okay. So we're going to bring that leg in front again, just keeping it bent. And we're going to straighten that back leg, okay? Lovely, so you might want to give your leg a little bit of a rub while you're here, if it feels like it deserves it. That back leg is nice and straight. And again, what we're going to do is just lift that back leg and lower. So it's just coming up a couple inches, just up and down. Good. Well done. So again, tummy button is pulled in. Our lower back and our core are facing forwards. It's just our leg that's doing the movement. Perfect. Well done. A few more here. Lovely. Last one. Okay, great. Okay. So what we're going to do is you're just going to bring yourselves over onto all fours, okay? So no hurry in this, take your time. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with cat stretch. So you might have seen this before, maybe you haven't, maybe you have. It's quite a common one people kind of do when you kind of just feel like you want to stretch. If you've got a cat or a dog, you definitely will have seen this stretch before. But what we're going to do, so we're going to have 4 points in contact with the floor. So we've got our knees are down, our arms are down. And what we're going to do is imagine we're a big cat, okay? So we're going to stretch. So we're going to pull our tailbone in, slowly, slowly arch our back, dip our head into our chest. So it doesn't have to be high, it's whatever's comfortable. And then we're going to release that, relax, dip our back just a tiny bit and look forward, okay? So we're going to slowly keep this moving all the way through. And again, what I want us to imagine, backwards and forwards, is that our back, we're feeling it kind of segment by segment, okay? So vertebrae by vertebrae, we're just moving every little bit, seeing where we've got more movement, maybe where we've got less, whatever feels good. If the dip on the way back doesn't feel comfortable for you, that's absolutely fine. You can leave that part out and just stay kind of neutral spine. Lovely, well done. Stay with this. Perfect. Good, that looks really good, guys. This is quite nice, this one. I always like this one if I've got a bit tight from sitting at my desk all day. Lovely. Okay, so go back to just your neutral position on all fours. Belly button is tucked in right into your spine. And what we're going to do is open up our chest a little bit. So I'll show you in this angle and then I'll move around. But we're going to lift one arm, open out just a little bit. So you can see I've kind of come around a bit as I've done that. So I'll show you from the front. We're just lifting, coming out and back. And then we'll go for the other side. Lift, feel your kind of chest open a little bit and back. That's it. Perfect. Good. If this is too much, you don't have to rotate. You can just lift the arms, okay? So whatever works for you today is fine. But if you can get a little bit of that rotation, perfect. Well done. Great. Stay with it. Just a few more. Feeling that chest open, belly button is tucked in throughout. Good. This looks great. Well done. Okay, last couple. Well done. Okay, So we're going back to that neutral spine, 4 points down. Good. This time, we're going to kind of go the other way. So we're going to thread the needle. So again, don't worry too much on the range on this. What you're going to do is lift one arm and pull through to the other side, okay? So I've got a little bit of a rotation as I kind of dip my shoulder to do this. But don't worry, if you're not going far, we're just pulling our arm through. So I'll show you from the side, just a little push through. Perfect. That's it, that looks really good, well done. Stay with it. So we're threading that imaginary needle. Great, stay with it. Keeping our belly button tucked in, we're still breathing, we're focusing on our breath and staying strong. Good, well done. Almost there with the class, we're nearly done, so you've done really well. Okay, so we're going back to our 4 points. Again, we're tucking our belly button in, feeling our core feel nice and strong. And what we're going to do to start off with, we're just going to lift our arm straight in front and then back down. So whilst we're doing this, we're going to be looking at the floor and we're going to try and stay as still as possible, okay? We're going to want to kind of rock and arch, but what we want to do is really pull in that belly button and stay nice and strong. So I'm going to turn and get nice straight arms. See how strong and how still we can be. That's it, well done. Great. A few more of these. Really, really good. Perfect. Another couple. Okay, lovely. So stop that there. If you want to quickly have a quick kind of mobilization of your wrists, give them a wiggle by all means. I know we've been on our wrists for a little while there, so if that feels comfortable, by all means, while I show you the next one. So the next one, we're going to keep our arms down. Again, remember that belly button is engaged. And what we're going to do is just tap our foot back. We're just tapping our toe on the floor. Again, we're trying to limit that rock. You're going to get some through your hips, kind of unavoidable, but we're going to try and not rock too much. Just tapping our toe back. Lovely, nice and strong, keeping that belly button pulled in, looking at the floor. Good. So if you want to go a bit harder with this, you can lift your leg in the air. You don't have to touch the floor. See where you are today. You're allowed to check and change your levels. You could do a bit of one and then go back. That's all okay. Great. Keeping that belly button pulled in. Really good, well done. Last couple. Okay. Great, okay, relax. Again, a little wrist wiggle if you want it. So what we're going to do now, the last bit of work, okay, is we're going to extend that a bit and we're going to try and do alternate arms and leg. So this is too much. You could stick with just the arms, you could stick with just the legs. Pick and choose, but what we're going to try is to test our balance here. So I'll show you from this side first. So we're on our 4 points, belly button's pulled in. We're going to lift the alternate arm and the alternate leg. So you can also tap your foot down if you need, but alternate arm and leg. So again from the front, so you can see one arm up, one arm down. So if this is too much, you're wobbling, it's just too much for you, go back to just the arms or just the legs. And what we're trying to do is keeping that belly button nice and tight, is keep this as a little rock as possible. That's it, perfect. Good. This is a real challenge here, okay? And just looking down at the floor, keeping the belly button in, keeping breathing and working from that. Good. Perfect. Couple more. Lovely. And relax, okay. Last thing we're going to do now is into prayer stretch, okay? So you're going to keep your knees bent and you're just going to lower yourself down, pull your arms forward. So you can stay as wide or as narrow with your knees and your legs as you need here. Your arms don't have to be too far, just a nice kind of stretch, relax into it. Just deep breaths, we've done it. Great, well done, just a few seconds here. Get your breath back. Relax, then you can move your legs a bit wider if that feels comfortable, whatever works for you today. Perfect. Okay. So you can stay there for as long as you need, however much recovery you want and you need here. But that is it for our session today. So well done. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully it tested you a little bit, but wasn't too much. And you can feel that kind of work in your core, so in your abdominals and your lower back. It's got your mobility increased a bit and got you a little bit warmer and feeling a bit more mobile. So well done. And yeah, I'll see you for your next session. Great work.